Yo, man, what's going on, y'all boys, man? You already know what time it is. You already know, you saw the title and the thumbnail. You already really know what to expect, man. It's for entertainment purposes only. You know what I'm saying? Entertainment purposes, everybody. Entertainment purposes. Make sure you comment that down below. Entertainment purposes only. Now, all jokes aside, man, make sure if y'all enjoy this reaction video that you give this video a huge thumbs up. And if you want a chance to get a shout out in my video, then make sure that you come on over to Discord. It will be linked down in the description, and I also will be pinned in the comments for all the people that's, you know, new to it, don't know what it is, just figure it out. I will try to help y'all out if I go live. I'll probably try to go live on YouTube one day and help y'all out and try to get people to, you know, send me videos and things on there. So hopefully it'll help y'all out and y'all can enjoy that. You get what I'm saying? But let's go get into it right now, man. Once again, hit that thumbs up. Let's get to 10,000 likes. Let's get it. Let's get it.
125,000 acres of nothing.
They even had to move 5 cemeteries because the noise they were planning on making would wake the dead. Don't worry if you can't hear what I'm saying. I couldn't even hear myself. This is the loudest sound you could possibly conceive. And as it turns out, the cleanest.
Now, the most amazing thing is that cloud up there, which was generated by the engine, is just a mixture of hydrogen and oxygen. It's water vapor. And in about an hour's time, someone in Mississippi is going to get wet washing. It will actually rain.
What?
I told you. It's raining. That's unbelievable. Oh. NASA's playing God. It's making its own weather.
Wow. NASA's doing that, y'all. That is NASA's work. Whole time I thought this was a jet. I know a lot of y'all was looking at this like, this is a jet. This was entirely a cloud they was making. Are you serious? That's my first time ever seeing a cloud made and I know this came out so long ago, but why do they not show stuff like this now? I want to know how this stuff now. Please send me some videos of clouds that's been made like this, y'all, because I need to know ASAP.
Have you guys heard about this? They are claiming they have found the geographical location of the Garden of Eden. And out of all places, you won't believe this, the North Pole.
I've been told there's no land at the North Pole, but if we look at a live wind finder view, we can see in the center of the earth there is something large diverting the wind. What is this, you may ask? Well, I'm about to show you. Just go ahead and type in on Google, old map of the North Pole, and all these old maps will come up from the 1500s. And here's what they look like. Look right here, made in 1595. And if we look in the center of the map here, we have what is called the Rupus Nigra. Rupus Nigra was believed to be a huge magnetic rock located at the North Pole. This is why all the compasses point north. The Rupus Nigra was 33 miles in size, which is literally bigger than most cities, which is why it's able to block the wind like this at the North Pole. It's funny how all the early NASA Satelloon footage looks like this, with some big black hole in the center. Nothing to see here, guys. If you guys didn't know, this is literally the mountain that's spoken about all throughout the Bible. This is Mount Zion, which is located directly above the Garden of Eden, which is why you see these 4 rivers coming out of it. And a river went out of Eden to water the garden, and from thence it was parted and became into 4 heads. If we look in the book of Ezekiel, thou hast been in the Garden of Eden. Thou wast upon the holy mountain of God. So we know the holy mountain of God is located in the Garden of Eden. Rupus Nigra is the holy mountain of God. They're beautiful in elevation, which means it's very high. The joy of the whole earth is Mount Zion in the far north, which is why you can literally see the very top of it poking out through the clouds. No other mountain in the world does this.
So just in case you missed it, let me break it down in simple terms. We are given the impression by NASA based on images that are taken from satellites. It's just one big black hole based on the images that we see. But maps from the 1800s reveal that there is actually land on the North Pole. It is not some black empty void space. Now, one would have to question, why would they hide this from us? What's the point? Now, what these maps from the 1500s reveal about the North Pole, there is a gigantic mountain or rock mass that is right there at the North Pole. And this can be confirmed today if we look at modern wind finder view technology. You will see there is a massive mass of some sort right at the North Pole that is blocking the wind or redirecting the wind around it. Now, just a sidebar, this massive rock at the North Pole, or this mountain-like structure, was known as the Rupus nigra. Now, guess what Rupus nigra means? It means black rock. That name Black Rock sounds real familiar. Now, this massive mountain or black rock they believe to be is the literal Mount Zion. And based on the book of Ezekiel, some people believe that Mount Zion was right beneath the Garden of Eden, which makes the topic we're talking about so believable, because this mountain is surrounded by water that flows in 4 different directions. And how is it again that the Bible describes the Garden of Eden? Genesis 2:10. A river flowed out of Eden to water the garden, and there it divided and became 4 rivers. Wow.
Man, big ice wall surrounding it.
In the book of Ezekiel, we can see the Garden of Eden being referenced directly to the holy mountain of God, or Mount Zion. Very, very interesting to say the least, right? Now, is this true, and is it the real geographical location of the Garden of Eden? Well, I'm not sure. It could be. It's not like they've ever found it in history to our knowledge anyway. But then again, that would give credibility to the Bible being true, and there's a lot of forces at work that just do not want us to know that. I also think it's interesting how NASA would go out of their way to black out. Now, what I'm going to share with you guys next is probably some of the most compelling and secretive information about this story. What it will prove to you is that this place, whatever it is, was purposely covered up. And it'll also prove to you who had something to do with it. But I cannot share this information on the social media platforms. This is the type of information that gets you banned, that gets you deleted, that gets you blocked. So
yeah, so I understand what he's trying to say. I don't know. I gotta really look into it and just see. I just wish we lived in a time where we can go and see everything for ourselves. Back in 1800s, we can just hop on a boat and just go somewhere. Now we really can't do nothing. Now they'll take us out of here before we get to figure something out.
I just saw a tweet about mysterious stone structures in the middle of a forest in New Zealand that the government have redacted the information about for 70 years. I was like, that can't be true. Let me research that. Yeah, it's true. So in the Waipua forest of New Zealand, probably not saying that right, they found these amazing stone structures, man-made, in the middle of the forest. Obviously everything's overgrown around it. They think that the forest probably wasn't there when this was originally built. It is super old. Like, you got trees growing on top of it now. Kind of reminds me of like Cambodia. Now, this isn't a new discovery. I think they found it in like 1988. However, the information about the site and the dating, it's all been redacted. It's not disclosed to the public, and the file has been sealed until 2063.
Why?
Which is such a weird move. See, it says that they're restricted until 2063. Now, obviously this is going to make conspiracy theorists go wild, but I just want to know why. Is it very common for archaeological sites to be restricted for 70 years after the fact? I can't think of why they would do that. Do you know? Some people speculate the site could be Maori, but weirdly, this forest is on public land and the government have done nothing to protect it, which is weird considering they do a lot of protection for their indigenous culture in New Zealand. So if it's not Maori, who is it? Did you know that they found a whole new lost pyramid, a pyramid that has never been excavated before? Exciting. The pyramid complex is located in Dashur, really close to the famous Bent Pyramid and Red Pyramid. Now, there's no top of the pyramid left, as you can see. It's just the foundations and the chambers inside. Now, everyone was so excited because they were like, we need to open the tomb, the chamber, because it's never been opened before, and we are going to find the first ever dead pharaoh to be found in a pyramid anywhere. Because if you didn't know already, they have never found an original body, an original burial in any pyramid in Egypt, ever. So everyone got really hyped up for the opening of this chamber. Even the Smithsonian Museum sent out a film crew so they could capture the opening moments when they found a real pharaoh buried in a pyramid. And then, guess what they found?
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing. So this huge granite block, they had to open up with modern equipment because it had been sealed shut for thousands of years. And there was absolutely nothing. Nothing inside this chamber. Not even the remnants of a burial or a single bone or a single jewel. Nothing. Which was very disappointing for the Egyptologists. However, it is yet another strike in the argument that these pyramids were originally not used as tombs, that the original purpose and function of the pyramids was something completely different, which would make complete sense as to why there was nothing in the chamber, because it's not an original tomb. It is in fact a reaction chamber for the whole purpose of the pyramid, which I believe was a chemical reaction plant.
Right.
Oh, what now, you say? So a theory, I've recently found a theory by a guy called Jeffrey Drum on YouTube. His YouTube channel is called Land of Chem, as in like chemistry. And he has been analyzing all of these samples that have been taken in every single pyramid site. And I'm so excited, I can't talk. There is hard evidence of chemical compounds all over the ancient pyramid sites. And what's interesting is each pyramid has a different chemical compound found inside these reaction chambers. I will be making a series of videos that's going to break down a lot of this research into like small bite-sized chunks. However, make sure you go check out Jeffrey's channel, The Land of Chem, because he needs a lot of love because he's been doing so much work, and I seriously think that this guy has cracked it.
Yeah,
I saw a tweet about mysterious stone structures in the middle of a forest in New Zealand that the government have redacted the information.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check him out, y'all. Let me know down below if y'all want me to check him out, man. Let's get this video to 10,000 thumbs up, and I'll make sure to check him out. I think it was like the Land of Chem or something like that, but like chemistry. But I'm definitely going to have to look it up. But I mean, of course, there's a lot of wonders in this world that we don't know. I mean, they're never going to tell us everything, but that is weird. That sounds like almost like the Queen Elizabeth thing, where they say it's a message that she don't want open until like 2080 or something like that. So I don't know why they do that, but people gotta let me know down below if this is something normal that goes on, which is I feel like is not personally.
Well, let's talk about the Grand Canyon. TikTok, this is only for entertainment purposes only. Alright, so there's been a lot of speculations and theories going around about how the Grand Canyon is the path to Africa, and how America is really ancient Egypt. I mean, if you really look into it and do your research, a lot of interesting facts you will find on this topic. Alright, so supposedly back in 1909, there's two archaeologists who supposedly found a lot of ancient artifacts, Egyptian artifacts back in the Grand Canyon. According to this article right here, the Professor Jordan and Kincaid stated that they found hundreds of Egyptian artifacts in those tunnels of the Grand Canyon that dated back to the era of the ancient Egyptian king Ramses, somewhere around 1250 BC. I mean, when we speak about Egypt, what's the first thing that comes to mind? It would be pyramids, right? But did you know that the most pyramids and the most ancient pyramids is found here in North America? And if you include South and Central America, it's not even a contest. As a matter of fact, according to this article right here, pyramids in America first appeared 5,000 years ago. Nearly 2,000 different pyramids can be found in North, Central, and South America, from Peru to the United States. Now let's dig more deep into this. Let's talk about the most known ancient Egyptian god, Horus. He's basically the son of Orion and Isis, the divine child of the Holy Family in Tyrid. So he is depicted as half human and half falcon. I mean, if you Google what type of falcon Horus was, two comes up in mind. One is the linear falcon, and two is the peregrine falcon. Now, the peregrine falcon, I hope I'm pronouncing it right, is also known as a duck hawk, who is native to North America only. I mean, but scratch that. Let's talk about these two pictures right here. The picture to the right is the picture of Horus, and the picture to the left is the Aplomato falcon, which supposedly Horus was basically patterned after the Aplomato falcon, which is also only indigenous to the Americas. And you know what I found even more interesting? In this article that was published in 1930 about Boy Scouts discovering an Egyptian Sphinx in Mexico. You can take a look at it, pause it if you want. Yeah, you know how they like to hide the truth. Also, I'm just going to set this video right here. Now, I'm not sure who's the original content creator of this video. If someone does know, please tag them in the comments below. But take a look at this right here.
Gonna know. Nobody's gonna know. They're gonna know.
So was America really the true old world? Oh yeah, and there's way more proof and facts that leads to America being ancient Egypt. Stick around for part 2, and we're gonna dig more deeper at how the path to Africa is through the Grand Canyon. Stay tuned for part 2.
She said that twice. I'm not too sure about this. I know that the world and the earth was a lot different 5,000, 2,000 years ago. Like, I know that it was shaped a lot different, and the only thing that shapes it now is because the rising levels of the sea, also the multiple endings of the world. I mean, honestly, the earth could have been a lot different. You know what I'm saying? Things could start shifting away from each other. Things could have been connected once upon a time. Like, it's no telling, really. We wouldn't alive 5,000, 2,000 years ago, and they honestly would never tell us what we really want to know about the world. So I'm not really surprised.
Night Fam, I am here to crush your appetite and tell you about the food you would never eat if you knew what it was made of. Let's start off sweet. It's time to ruin ice cream for you. If you are eating strawberry, vanilla or raspberry ice cream, you may be eating beavers' private areas. What? I am not joking. Castoreum, which comes from the behind area of the male and female beavers, is an FDA-approved food additive popular in ice creams and allowed to be called natural flavoring, meaning you probably don't know that you are eating it. No. All of this is giving me brain freeze. Let's move on ASAP. How about you take a guess which food that many people eat every day has an ingredient that's made of human hair?
Oh, it was a hot dog.
If you eat processed pies, some commercial bread, or a lot of fast food, you might be eating some human hair. The ingredient is called L-cysteine, and it indeed is derived from our hair. Studies show that most of the hair used to make this ingredient come from China, where it's gathered from barbershops and their saloons.
What?
So, in case you would like to avoid eating human hair, buy fresh bread from a local baker.
That's crazy.
Damn, this is really crazy, isn't it?
This is wild. We only 2 things in, and this is already crazy.
Next on the list of the food you would never eat if you knew what it was made of are chicken nuggets.
Okay, I want those.
First off, I'm gonna avoid how they're made, which probably is even worse. But
yes,
what's in them is pretty bad too. The silicone breast implant fillers. Yep. Many chicken nuggets contain only about 50% of chicken, and the remaining 50% are synthetic ingredients, including a breast implant filler. And as we're on breast and meat, let's talk about hot dogs. Never judge a book by its cover. Well, in the case of hot dogs, it doesn't really work that well because the elastic coating of a hot dog is made of animal intestines. What? And when it comes to its insides, hot dog sausage is grinded and made pretty much of everything. Pig's mouth, pig's feet, just grind it all and here's your hot dog. That's why I don't eat meat, yet I still struggle to take this information sober. And speaking of that, you would never guess, but some beers are not vegetarian. Some beers, like Guinness for example, have traces of fish in them. To be exact, fish bladder is added to beer to help remove haziness from the final product. Fish bladder.
It's crazy.
That sounds pretty bad, let's add some color to the story. Yay! Let's talk about gummy bears. La 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 la. Cute, nice, sweet. Everyone loves to eat gummy bears, right? Problem is, they are made of gelatin, which means these innocent, cute-looking sweets are made of skin, bone, and connective tissue found in animals. It's literally grinded pieces of animals. You could say that gummy bears have more in common with hot dogs and chicken nuggets than candy. And staying on the colorful food, I'm convinced you had some red food before, right? Problem is, most of the red food is not as red without adding carmine to it. And here's the bummer. Carmine is made by boiling insect shells in sodium carbonate. What? It takes about 70,000 bags to produce 1 pound of dye. In 2000.
What? So that's why they banned in red dye in California.
2012, one coffee giant got a backlash for using it in their frappuccinos. They quickly removed it, but it's still used in many other red foods we stumble upon every day. In other words, better stay away from red food with carmine on the ingredient list unless you want to eat some boiled insect shells. And I know all of these examples sound insane, but all of them are real. Ice cream, pies, nuggets, hot dogs, beer, gummy bears, red foods. All these foods are very different from each other, but at least now we know they all have one thing in common. Nasty secrets.
Man, shout out to Justin O.D. show. Man, he always dropping some fire content, but yo, I'm actually finna barbecue tomorrow, and the fact that I gotta go through this is honestly sad. Like, I don't want to have to go through this right now. I honestly was finna go crazy on some barbecuing. I mean, I don't really be eating pork like that, like, at all. Only time I really have it is when it comes to like bacon on top of something, but other than that, I really don't like pork, and I really try to stay away from it as much as possible. But besides that, like I don't even really know where to start. Like my mind is just at shock right now. Like, let me know if that just ruined y'all complete refrigerator down below. Hit that like button.
If a prince wants to conquer a city and the city does not want to be conquered, they would hate him. But if the prince pays criminals to kill cows, burn barns, smash windows, set things on fire, the people will panic in fear and cry out for help, and the prince will come in, get rid of the very criminals he bribed to create the problem. Nobody will know the better for it, and everyone will praise the prince as a hero.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good marketing. You create the need and fill it. You go around the back of the house and set it on fire, then you go around the front of the house and sell them a fire extinguisher.
Yep.
And they'll pay anything for it and even thank you for being there.
Yep.
So it's called Machiavellianism, where you create or capitalize on a crisis to consolidate control.
Wow, 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 wow. Machiavellianism. That is crazy. Make me think of Machiavelli. You know what I'm saying? But Machiavellianism. So I guess, okay. It all makes sense now why everything is full circle, but that is 100% correct. And that is what the government do a lot. It's Machiavellianism. Made me think of Tupac, Machiavelli. But yeah, create a problem, then hold your hands behind your head, but be the problem solver to the problem you created.
Given billions for vaccines and save millions of lives, if you just kind of invert that and say, no, we're trying to make money for vaccines and not trying to save lives, that's a popular conspiracy theory.
You've invested $10 billion in vaccinations over the last 2 decades, and you figured out the return on investment for that, and it kind of stunned me. Can you walk us through the math?
Over a 20-to-1 return. So if you just look at the economic benefits, that's a pretty strong number compared to anything else.
We're trying to make money for vaccines, and that's a popular conspiracy theory.
Over a 20-to-1 return.
Right. So you end up saying it yourself, bro. Come on now.
These draconian reptilians understanding this science, this basic metaphysics 101. All right? They just bend the light photon and they're able to change their vibration. So if they raise their vibration, all right, to match the frequency of whatever they want to shift to, so whatever they looked at or focused their retinas on, then they'll be able to shift to that. By raising their frequency of their vibration. They don't change at all. These reptilians don't change at all. They're just holding a frequency, a vibration. And they're holding a vibration of whatever being they saw that they want to shift to. So this is how they're able to move amongst you as everyday white people and human beings and shit, but they are not. They're just holding a frequency. And some of them, when they start to lower their vibration, that's how people can catch them on camera shifting sometimes.
Whoa.
Or catch their eyes slitting and flipping because it's just a vibration. It's an image. Understand, this is just matter. This shit is matter. That's why it's mind over matter. You alter this shit with your thoughts. You control this shit with your thoughts. That's why it's mind over matter. What is matter? Got 4 phases. Plasma energy being the highest. Gases, liquids, solids being the lowest. Aren't you solid? Isn't this solid? Yes. So the slowest vibration, the slowest form of matter is a solid. Why is it the lowest form of matter? Because it's vibrating the slowest.
Yeah, man, that concludes today's video. Another banger, another lit banger. So make sure if y'all enjoyed that y'all give this video a huge thumbs up. I tell y'all this all the time, man. The more thumbs up this video get, the higher that it will rank. Let's get this video to 10,000 likes. You know, I've been asking y'all for this for the longest, and y'all are pushing it. Y'all almost there. Video to 10,000 likes, and I promise this will skyrocket. And that's just the easiest thing that y'all can do for me. And you know what I'm saying? So hopefully, my bad, I'm stumbling over my words. I know I'll be talking too fast. I apologize, y'all. But hopefully y'all enjoyed this reaction. Of course, it was for entertainment purposes. So make sure that y'all stay safe.